Before the world knew order, it knew war. The heavens thundered during the Titanomachy, the ancient conflict that would decide the fate of the universe. Titans rose like living mountains, their fury shaking the foundations of creation itself. Yet from the storm emerged Zeus, bearing lightning forged by destiny. With blazing thunderbolts in his hands, he led the Olympian gods into battle. When the clash finally ended, the Titans were cast down, and an age of chaos came to a violent close. Victory elevated Zeus above all others. From his throne upon Mount Olympus, he ruled the heavens, the earth, and the unseen depths below. When he lifted his arm, storms answered. When he spoke, the skies obeyed. The gods bowed in silence, for no authority rivaled his dominion. Zeus was not merely a king among gods. He was the axis upon which the universe turned, the final voice in every decree of fate. Only Hera, queen of Olympus and wife of Zeus, stood near him in power and honor. She was revered, feared, and acknowledged by all the gods. Yet even she could not oppose the Thunderer when his will hardened. Zeus loved her, but love did not restrain him. His strength was unmatched, his authority absolute. And beneath the splendor of Olympus, unseen tensions quietly began to form. For absolute power never rests without consequence. Zeus ruled with command and force, shaping the universe according to his will. Order stood firm because he demanded it. Yet pride grew in the shadows, unchallenged and unseen. Olympus appeared eternal, unbreakable, but destiny had already begun its slow turn. For even the highest throne can become the birthplace of rebellion. Zeus ruled the universe with thunder in his voice and lightning in his grasp. His will shaped the order of heaven and earth, and none dared to question him openly. Yet power hardened his heart. He commanded, and the gods obeyed. He decided, and the world followed. Olympus stood glorious, but beneath its shining peaks, resentment quietly gathered like a coming storm. Hera, queen of Olympus, bore the deepest wound. Though honored as Zeus's wife and equal in majesty, she endured constant humiliation. Zeus was unfaithful, pursuing mortal women and goddesses alike, leaving betrayal in his wake. Each affair cut deeper than the last. Love turned into bitterness, respect into anger. And in the silence of Olympus, Hera's patience was slowly exhausted. She was not alone in her resentment. Many of the Olympian gods had grown weary of Zeus's arrogance and unyielding rule. His authority was absolute, his pride unrestrained. Decisions were made without counsel, commands were given without mercy. The gods whispered among themselves, questioning whether the Thunderer still ruled for the good of all, or only for himself. And so the seed of rebellion was planted at the very heart of Olympus. Under Hera's leadership, the gods began to conspire against their sovereign. What had once been unthinkable now seemed necessary. The throne of heaven itself became the target. And though Zeus remained unaware, destiny was already moving toward confrontation. For rebellion does not rise from weakness. It rises from wounded pride and unchecked power. Night fell over Mount Olympus, and for the first time in ages, the ruler of the universe slept without suspicion. The halls of the gods lay silent, the torches dim, the air heavy with unspoken intent. Then, in the stillness, betrayal moved. The Olympian gods entered the chamber where Zeus rested. His thunderbolts set aside, his vigilance lowered. The moment had come. Poseidon and Apollo stepped forward. With swift precision, they seized the arms of the Thunderer and bound him with chains of pure gold. forged by Hephaestus himself. By the time Zeus awakened, the weight of the bonds pressed upon him. Rage ignited in his eyes. The god who had overthrown Titans now lay immobilized upon his own bed. His voice thundered with threats, shaking the palace walls, but his power could not break the chains that held him. The gods did not flinch. For the first time, fear loosened its grip on Olympus. They ignored his fury, unmoved by his wrath, and turned their attention elsewhere. Their thoughts were no longer on the fallen king, but on the throne he had left unguarded. Authority, once unquestioned, now hung in the balance. And so the unthinkable had happened. Zeus, supreme lord of the universe, was overthrown not by monsters or titans, but by those closest to him. Olympus stood at a crossroads. The throne of heaven stood empty in spirit, though the king yet lived. And in that moment, order itself trembled. With Zeus bound and silenced, the throne of Olympus became the object of desire. The gods turned from their fallen king and looked upon the seat of supreme power, each measuring themselves against it. Hera, queen of Olympus and architect of the uprising, believed the throne was hers by right. She had endured humiliation, borne the weight of rule, and now stood ready to claim authority over heaven itself. But she was not alone. Athena, goddess of wisdom, stepped forward, convinced that knowledge and reason should guide the universe. Apollo believed the age demanded light, order, and prophecy, qualities only the god of the sun could provide. Poseidon, lord of the seas, claimed that raw power and dominion over the vast waters made him the rightful ruler. Only Hestia remained apart, untouched by ambition, watching in silence as pride collided with pride. As voices rose and tensions sharpened, a warning emerged. Thetis, daughter of the sea and keeper of ancient insight, foresaw what the others could not. A civil war among the gods would tear Olympus apart. Brothers would rise against brothers, heaven itself would fracture, and the world below would be dragged into chaos. Only one force, she declared, could prevent such destruction: the steady hand of Zeus. The warning fell upon deaf ears. Desire drowned wisdom. Power blinded restraint. And as the gods argued over the throne, they failed to see the truth unfolding before them. Without Zeus, there would be no order. Without order, there would be only ruin. Olympus was standing on the edge of collapse. When the warning was ignored, Thetis turned away from Olympus and sought the one being whose loyalty could not be shaken. She found Briareus, the greatest of the Hecatoncheires, a colossal creature with 100 arms and 50 heads. His strength was unmatched, his allegiance to Zeus unbreakable. At her plea, he rose, and the ground itself seemed to recoil beneath his steps as he marched toward Mount Olympus. His arrival silenced the gods. Fear replaced ambition as the towering figure stood before them. With effortless force, Briareus shattered the golden chains that bound Zeus. In an instant, the Thunderer was free. Zeus rose, and with him rose the full fury of the heavens. A single thunderclap roared across the universe, and the very fabric of creation trembled. The gods who had conspired against him dropped their weapons and fell to their knees. Judgment followed swiftly. Hera, leader of the rebellion, was chained and suspended in the sky, a living symbol of defiance brought low. She remained there until she swore a solemn oath never to rebel again. Apollo and Poseidon were not spared. Stripped of their pride, they were sent to serve the mortal king Laomedon, forced to build the mighty walls of Troy with their own hands. Order was restored, but the lesson was carved into Olympus forever. Power is not seized without consequence. Authority is not challenged without judgment. Zeus reclaimed his throne and the universe returned to balance. But the memory of rebellion remained, a warning etched into the heavens themselves.